Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate, Uncut and After Show. I'm your host, Nathan Oakley, and if you're new to this channel, or you've not done so already, how dare you, then be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you'd like to join the community debate, then go to nathanoakley.com and check out the Flat Earth Debate forum, which you should definitely join. If you'd like to support the channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they are premiering. There's also a PayPal, Patreon and crypto link in the info box below the video. I'm going to do a quick shout out to all of my Patreons as they've been extremely supportive of me recently. So I'm going to do their shout outs and then we'll pass over to both Discord and Google Plus Hangouts on air so you can enjoy their dulcet tones while I set up for today's live show. So a huge shout out to Alistair, Dank, David, Edwin, Godrockin, Jaronism, Kirsten, Matt, Michael, Paige, Renee, Sam, Texas Mike, and Tina. So massive shout out to all of my Patreons. Really do appreciate your support. So as I say, I'll now pass over to the Google Plus Hangouts and Discord servers so you can enjoy their dulcet tones as I set up for the first live show. Don't let me interrupt your extremely riveting conversations.
Yeah.
John, I was going to tell you about that video I shared earlier,
show?
unless you're about to start the show.
Alternatively, 5 people could all talk at once.
Unbelievable.
Go on, I had Paul first. Go on, Paul.
John, I shared a video earlier. It was kind of thought might be good about talks about entropy, but there's a video of a guy. He put water in a vacuum chamber and put a thermometer in it, and as he was removing the pressure from the vacuum chamber, the temperature of the water would drop. So it was kind of interesting. That's definitely a proof of entropy there, and how lack of pressure reduces temperature.
Yeah, it's vapor pressure. Vapor pressure of the water.
Right. Yeah. I shared it I thought I shared it live in the Discord. Yeah. You probably know more exactly what's going on than I do. I just thought it was interesting. Less pressure, cooler temperature.
Where'd you put it?
I put it in the Discord. I thought. You may have to go back a while.
I have been in there this morning.
I
Put it in Master B's.
I did have a direct question, unless you've got one first, Paul. Obviously, it's your point.
No, I just didn't. John can maybe unpack maybe what's observing, but if you'd have to see the video here, I'll find it again and repost it or reshare it. And
my question was in relation to. So he's got this demonstration of the temperature dropping of the water in this vacuum chamber, but how does I was thinking, how can I tie this to Boyle's law? But in Boyle's law, they're talking about it with an ideal gas and a constant temperature. So how is it that they're reducing the overall pressure, but the temperature's decreasing? Whereas in Boyle's law, they're saying you increase the pressure by decreasing the volume, but that would keep the temperature constant in that example. Is that something to do with the fact they're using ideal gas? I don't really understand it.
Well, there are no ideal gases. Go ahead and say that one more time. I just woke up, man.
So, sure. In Boyle's law, in my understanding of it, the description describes it with a constant temperature.
And?
Well, given that in the example that was shown, no, he's not decreasing the volume, but he's decreasing the pressure. So isn't the inverse true, and therefore wouldn't the temperature stay constant according to Boyle's law? Or is it different when you're decreasing pressure as opposed to volume?
No. The temperature is the temperature of the surroundings.
temperature they're referring to in Boyle's law isn't the temperature of, in this instance, or comparable to, the liquid turning into a gas. It's the surroundings that they're referring to.
Yeah, the pressure volume law is about gases, right?
Yeah.
So it's the temperature of the gases in the surroundings. In other words.
So the water decreasing, so it's just not applicable. Boyle's law just simply isn't applicable to that water decreasing in temperature.
I don't. Yeah, it's kind of squirrely.
It's very squirrely, but I was ham-handedly trying to find an association and I couldn't, and I thought you might just come along and go, well, of course, it's directly linked. Well, no, it's not. So fine.
Well, what happens in evaporation? Back to Paul, right? What happens when water evaporates? Because that's what's happening.
Release of basically energy is being released.
Exactly.
The heat is. Yeah.
There you go. Yep. It's breaking the hydrogen bonds.
Yeah, actually, I was going to show you if you want to the videos in Discord, and if you go to about the 654 mark, you'll see where it's still got pressure in the container in the vacuum chamber, and then as you just move on or move towards the end of the video, you can see the temperature drop. So
can you put it in master? Can you put it in master B's, please?
Yeah, give me a second.
Yeah, it's no hurry. Just pop it in there, and I'll get to it. Say attention, QE. How about that?
Okay, I just dropped it. Yeah, there you go. I just dropped it. It's the last thing after the hangout. The next thing after the hangout.
Yeah, you put it in live stream. I'll never find it.
Here, I'll give it to you directly here.
Too many messages going past there. Yeah, it'd be impossible by the time I got in there.
Okay, it's in Master B, and I sent it to you directly in Skype.
Cool. Thanks.
Yep. So it's about go to about 654 or 645 mark or somewhere around there. To start
I ain't gonna remember that, man. How long is the video? The video.
The whole video is probably like 8 minutes, but the part of where he's showing the temperature drops just a couple of minutes.
Oh, no worries. That's short.
Just for comparison in terms of standards, Paul. So when John will send me a link for Ballbusters, I know you're not sending it him to present, but when John sends me stuff for Ballbusters, he'll send me a quick summary of what he wants above each time-stamped link to the video he wants playing, with a start and end time listed and detailed with the actual quote from the time-stamped section. In other words, I go to each individual bit that he wants playing and it'll say, this is what will be played. Here's the exact quote, in quotes. Here's the timestamp with a link with it time marked. So in other words, I only have to click the link and it immediately takes me to the timestamp section. And then it'll have a description of when it needs to be stopped, which will also be verbalized upon playing it. So from this seat, John's wonderful.
I got a couple of questions for John. Are you retired?
Wait a second. Wait a second. We need to go back to the other topic. We need to talk about profit sharing.
Yeah, John's not. That's about the only helpful thing John does, really.
Thanks for that, man. I needed that this morning. Needed a good laugh. Go ahead, Paul. What's up?
No, I was just saying. I just had a couple of questions for you. Are you retired, and do you have a toddler? If you say no to either one of if you say yes to one and no to the other, then that explains why I don't have time to do what Nathan was saying.
Yeah, you're right. That's really good. You're correct. I am retired and I don't have toddlers.
I just thought this was an interesting video because it was just back to that conversation about pressure and temperature and all that stuff. I know they're intricate related, but here you're changing the pressure, not the temperature, but it's reducing the temperature by reducing the pressure. And then the other, I was thinking when you put energy into and you heat up the thing, it increases the temperature, and it also increases the pressure. Seems like they're almost an inverse process going on there.
Who's this from? Is this Dr. John D. or?
It's called Action Lab. He does a lot of videos on vacuum chambers. And there's one he saw was kind of interesting. He did a vacuum chamber and then stuck the vacuum chamber underwater and just to see what would happen. And the vacuum chamber would still float, and even in in water, it would still float. So,
Did he put any rockets in there?
No, he hasn't done that yet. At least I haven't seen it. He may have. I just haven't seen all his videos. These just pop up on my recommended.
Six minutes and we'll be live. FYI.
What pressure? Oh god, I'm getting rumpused.
Sorry, that was my bad.
Question.
All right, yeah, I got a question. I had a question. I forgot what the hell it was now. Oh, what pressure did that water start to evaporating?
I don't know if he has the gauge. Yeah, he has the gauge up there. Let me see. Oh, wait a minute. If I can find it. He took it down. Actually, it's on one part of the video. Let's see. Looks like about 733. It shows that I'm not sure. I can't hardly read the gauge. I'm not sure how to read the gauge, so I'm not going to try to say. But it looks like the gauge is pinged out all the way to the left. So
God, this thing's on Skype, man. The lettering is so small on this damn thing anyway. I can't see. Yeah, I'll have to pull the video.
It's okay. Let's just try something. Just if you can make it full screen. Any better?
Oh man, hold on a second.
I think it's like negative.
Set millimeters mercury.
Yeah.
I see mercury on there. That's all I can make out at the bottom.
Yeah, that's what I said. I don't even know how to begin to read it because I'm not sure what the gauge is.
It's in bar.
It says 8.
It's in bar. Can you not read that? I can go and read it because it's nice and big on my projection screen. Give me a second. I've just got to walk away. I've got to walk up to the screen to read it.
It has an. I can't see it.
So it's Lily said I have to drop off the full screen to mute. So hurry up, unless you want to keep hearing Lily. Now she's smacking me.
I got it. It has in kilopascals, and the black is in mercury.
Made it smaller, you bugger.
Yeah, you made it small. What the heck? I got it.
I'm going back. Lily was smacking me wanting something. I had to mute myself. I have to take it off to mute. So I'll bring it back up in a second. I'll just listen.
It's on the very first marker, but.
Yeah, thanks, Nathan. I'm trying to see it, and it goes boop smaller.
There it is. I've sat down again now.
The red is kilopascals, and all I see is mercury. Yeah, Hg. So the black is in. It's probably millimeters mercury. I don't know, but it's mercury and kilopascals.
Clear as mud.
Yeah, is that when it started to evaporate?
Clear as mud.
I'm not sure. I think there's another part of the video here. I'll show you. Of course, when I decide to get on here, she decides to start screaming. Let me just hang on a second. So if you can just be patient with her screaming in the background.
She's like, "How dare you talk to other people besides me?"
Exactly.
It's true. Mine's exactly the same. She'll be perfectly calm, playing. I'll start the show up, and that's instantaneously when she wants my attention.
Now this is him showing it where it starts to boil when the water is at the bottom. So I don't know if it's probably around the same. Looks like it's the same
higher.
measurement.
No, it's higher.
It's slightly higher. Is that what you said?
Yeah, slightly higher.
Yeah.
In fact, it was on the first notch. Now it's on the second notch, so it's double. I have no idea to quantify that scale without it being in front of me, really.
Okay, I want to put my stuff on mute.
I'm going to start the live show now anyway, so...
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate Live. I'm your host Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you'd like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they are live. There's also a PayPal, Patreon and crypto link in the info box below the video. Most importantly though, if you would like to join the discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the shape of the Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcomed back on the next stream. Please also share the show on Facebook and Twitter. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel. So please share the show. And one last time, if you're new to the channel or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. Now, we are joined by Quantum Eraser, the Adam Meakin, Paul, Chocolate Saiyan, Arwin, and on Discord we have a whole bunch of people. Let's see if I can get that screen up. There it is. We're joined by Dougie, Earth-Shaped Investigator, JQ, Lenny, or Lennox, Ping Pong Rob, Righteous Force, and Ryan Eartherton. Very good to have you one and all. Yay, really good to be here, Nathan. Thank you.
Good to be here indeed.
Yo.
Hello, Nathan. Hello.
It's because we were in mid-flow of conversation, but as timing happened, 3:30 swung around, live show time, and that's why I've broken up the flow of this conversation. So just to summarise for the audience what's going on. Paul's brought up the demonstration that we had on the last show and been trying to quantify when the actual pressure, or what pressure the evaporation takes place with the water. So we've been fiddling around with this gauge, trying to actually figure out, looking at it on our various screens to see where the gauge actually is. So that's where we're at. Exciting times.
Yeah. You could probably look it up. Just Google it. But this
Probably.
is the actual demonstration, right? So would want the actual demonstration rather than just taking it off Google.
Sure, we need the number first from Google and then see this and make sure it matches. Right?
Yeah, right.
Well, it's just kind of interesting to think about, though, if, John, one of the questions I asked you about, that gases have kinetic energy, and, if you put things under pressure and reduce the temperature, that slows down the kinetic energy, right? Am I thinking about that correctly?
Say that one more time.
I was just going to say that once more.
Okay. If you put something under pressure and reduce the temperature, you slow down the kinetic energy of the gas, correct? Am I thinking that correctly?
What's the something?
Gas. Kind of like an air conditioning, they increase the pressure, then you blow air across it, it cools the freon,
right,
which reduces the temperature. But even in this scenario, you're reducing the pressure, which is reducing the temperature. So you're actually increasing, in some sense, the kinetic energy, but you're reducing the temperature of the gas, increasing the kinetic energy of the gas. But
oh God!
No, I'm just asking. This is a question. It's not a statement. Am I understanding that correctly? So tell me yes, no, maybe if I'm way off base.
I didn't understand what you were saying, so. I don't understand the question. How about that? Why don't you type it out and send it to me on Skype? Let me take a look at it.
Well, here, I'll try to summarize it real quickly. Is the kinetic energy of the gas, when the vacuum is being introduced, is it increasing the kinetic energy? Or is it reducing?
Because it's a gas. Okay. Once it turns to a gas, then the kinetic energy of gases is higher than that of liquids.
Okay, so when you remove another gases or putting into a vacuum, the kinetic energy increases. That's what I'm asking. So okay, that's it. That's it. Real simple.
Okay.
Yeah, the kinetic energy increases because the entropy increases. Well, not because. They both increase entropy and kinetic energy.
Okay. Because I've been really trying to figure out this connection between force and energy. I see there's a connection there too, and I've been trying to wrap my brain around it. So that's part of me trying to figure it out. So I've got no way to do a presentation now. It's just me trying to understand. And also how that's related to a force as well.
So somebody told me Jose popped in for one of his flybys, right? Talking about straw manning friggin' Gimp Panda. I mean, you got to be some type of moron if you don't get this argument, right?
Yeah, I totally agree. Well, he was moaning, saying that, he didn't say back in the day, but I'll insert those. I'm not misquoting him, just contextualizing. So back in the day, people would say, oh, well, if I could see a rocket actually go through the full transitional process from Earth pressure to vacuum of space and no edits in between, and then they transitioned to, or not transitioned, in one frame went to the sphere Earth, then I'd be a believer. Well, we would, even if they presented that today, go, whatever they're claiming to show you in this video footage is fake, because they're claiming to go to outer space, which can't exist. They don't like it.
Exactly.
They don't like the legs of their argument being cut off, and essentially Jose's joining was to appeal to us going back to the good old days of 2015, where people would allow them to beg the question of a sky vacuum.
Yep.
Just mad because one more argument got taken away from them. That's the problem.
Yeah. It's a straw man, right? Yeah, that's straw man, like hydrogen bonding is straw man to seawater. Friggin' clowns, man. I don't know do they just parrot this stuff and not think about it?
Basically, yeah. It's a problem because it's a direct address that immediately dispenses with any claims of space photography. So, whereas before you could, maybe a year or 18 months ago, people like Gem Panda would say, oh, well, I don't go on and argue that because they'll just claim it's fake and blah, blah, blah. And at the time, there was loads of really concise quality debunkings based on the videography and based on, why it couldn't be travelling through a vacuum in the case of rockets, or why the tin can claimed to be the ISS isn't really in space, it's in a swimming pool. All that great stuff could have been argued about upon presentation of a space picture. Now, before anything is even presented, well, what are you going to claim? We're going to claim we've got pictures of Earth from space. From space? Oh, we crap all over that. So, yeah, before you even get to your pictures, how do we have gas pressure if this medium these pictures came from, claimed to be a vacuum, is next to gas pressure? It would disperse into it. So that's the end of your claim of a sky vacuum where pictures come from. That's simply not possible. So it basically cuts the legs off any argument to do with pictures claimed from being from space or travel to space or any of that garbage. Either one.
Oh, hi guys.
It's literally like doing the Bruce Lee, the art of fighting without fighting. That's how I see it. Then again, I got too much martial arts in my brain. So I don't know.
That's fair enough.
Cheers to Arwen for giving me the link because I couldn't find any Master Beat.
Oh, really? I published it in Master B. Definitely. Anyway. So I don't know if Adam came seeking a bit of forgiveness or a bit of approval because he disclaimed that he was going to go on to Ranties to beg the question. What do you make of that, QE?
Say that one more time. Go ahead.
So Adam came on, and very early on, although I didn't bring him up on it, he noted that he was going to go on to Ranties to beg the question and debunk the curve calculator from within the fallacy.
Oh, is he going to do that today?
Yeah, he's doing that on Ranties at 9 PM UK time. Be here or be sphere.
Oh, cool.
Ranty Flat Earth channel. So I think he's getting it in quick. So I'm not like, what are you doing? Just tell him to prove R. What's your problem?
Wait, is Brenda's presentation today too?
Yeah, 6 PM UK time. Again, Ranty Flat Earth channel. Brenda von Aschen. Am I saying her name correctly? Von Asch? Is it Assen? Assen or Aschen? Anybody?
It looks like Hausen to me when I see it.
I'm really sorry if I've said your name wrong, Brenda. Anyway, Brenda is on Ranty Flat Earth channel on the show called Ranty's Round Table. So she's also doing a presentation 6 p.m. UK time. Which has already happened if you're watching this on Sunday on Nathan Oakley 1980. So just go and check out Ranty Flat Earth channel and you'll see all these presentations already recorded and done.
Well, what's she presenting on?
I don't know, actually.
Take a guess, John.
I don't know. No idea. Gas
Shoes?
pressure?
She apparently is rebuting Right the Hand.
Oh, she's
Say that again.
She's
Say that
challenging
again,
Right the
Albert
Hand. She's challenging Right the Hand. She's a rebuttal to Right the Hand's presentation. Well,
So yeah, it's on quantum mechanics.
you won't have to work very hard. Let's put it that way.
Well, no. I told Ranty, I gave Ranty my rebuttal.
Did you hear him discussing it yesterday?
Oh, it was
Yeah.
beautiful.
Again, Adam,
Yeah.
he's made a sharp exit right about now, of course. He's still on mute. He did say he was going to disappear for a few minutes, but anyway, they were discussing it, and Ranty was like, well, QE said he would do a standing rebuttal, and then when it came to this from Right the Hand, he basically said he didn't want to do it. And I thought, that's not exactly what he said now, is it, Ranty? You know, I was watching that conversation flow by Master B.
Yeah, that's right. I gave my rebuttal. Ranty.
You posted a link to a video and everything, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Which video was it that you posted a link to?
That's my rebuttal video is
Yeah.
Right the Hand's presentation.
So just so this is clear, so in the Skype chat, Ranty's asking QE if he's going to do a rebuttal, and QE says, "Here's my rebuttal," and posts a video. Ranty says, "No, you've posted the wrong link. That's the video by Right the Hand." Response, "That's my rebuttal."
Yeah, that's
Hey,
my
Anon,
rebuttal.
how you doing? Can you hear us? Could you just do a quick sound check? Hey, Anon.
Hey guys,
Good to have you.
thanks, sir.
So, did you watch the video?
Alan says he didn't.
I'm not watching your bullshit, bro. I already know your bullshit. Please stop it.
It's not that you have to watch that video. It's more that you figure out where they got the concept, where they got the convention of wave function when describing light, the history of it. You don't need to pay attention to John's video. It's just, it's easy because it's summarized in about probably less than 2 minutes.
You keep on getting shorter on the time spans with that.
Well, yeah,
I'm thinking it's all
why don't
longer
we watch it
than
right
2
now?
minutes.
Say again?
Let us all watch it together so we can talk about it and pause it in case there's some horseshittery.
That means I've got to do it though. I know the answer, and I'd rather string you along if I'm honest, Anon, until you do it of your own. No. You can lead a horse to water.
I'm not biting, bro.
It's not because I want you to, I don't want you. It's down to you to do this. If you don't want to, or you rebel against it, then that's equally good for me. But you know, I already know. I don't need to bring it up. If the audience doesn't, and they're all like, "No, we do want to watch this video to understand how the convention of wave function was derived," then yeah, I'll probably play it on another show, or we'll cover it again in Ballbusters. It's just another opportunity to cover it as a new subject, if you like, on Ballbusters. That would be the way I would play it out, as opposed to just going and playing it now. That, and I'm quite comfy and everything's set nicely. I can see it all on my 2 screens. I don't want to play a video. Other than that, just my main point is you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink along. And if you're willing to go and sort out this information, you will. I'm not going to force it down your throat.
I totally understand where you're coming from, but it's just like me telling you to go, hey, why don't you go watch hours of stuff about relativity and see how it started, and then you'll figure it out. You're going to laugh at me.
You don't need to do that. You could Google search it. I mean, yeah, through carefully selected Google searching, you could probably take 15 minutes to find this information out. Given the amount of info we've given you to precede your search, you'd probably find it less than 5 minutes. But
listen, I'm totally fine with this conversation. I right now I have Ranty, I got Adam, clearly Right the Man, and these guys are questioning and seeing the double standard that you guys pull between Cavendish, and this other thing. So
Adam.
I'm totally happy. People are seeing
Adam,
it. People,
what's
even
Adam's
the panel
problem?
members are understanding what the hell is going on. So I'm good.
What's
I don't need
Adam's
to argue
problem?
this.
What's Adam's problem?
Why don't you listen to Randy's show? You might get a clue.
What's his
Boy.
problem? Why can't you just say it?
Just go watch it.
I ain't gonna go watch him. You made
Just
a
like
claim.
yeah, exactly. Hey, exactly. When you send someone to a video and say, "Hey, why don't you go watch the video?" That person's not gonna go watch it. Exactly. Bingo.
Exactly. Bingo, huh? So, Adam, somebody's making a claim for you. What you got to say about that? Since Anon is playing all mystery guest.
Wow, bruv.
I'll make a comment towards Anon. Sorry. I shared a video just earlier. I didn't play the whole video. I just went to different sections of it, explained what was going on, and then we had a good, fairly decent discussion. Why can't you do something very similar, Anon? So pull up the video, go through what the parts you want to talk about, and let us discuss it. Bring up your point. Let John bring up his point. Part of this new format we have going on here.
The problem is it's low
That
brow.
requires
It's
John
just too
to be
low
civil.
brow.
He's not. I'm not interested in arguing with John. So
You're gossiping.
Let's talk about the axial rotation. I really don't give a shit about quantum mechanics and talk to you guys about it. It's really like talking to a baller. I just rather not deal with it. It just gets annoying.
Did you call me a baller?
He's projecting. He's behaving like a baller. He can't be asked to research the subject that he wants to argue about, and he's saying he doesn't care about it, even though he talks about it, and is just equivocated using Cavendish. But there we go. You've misrepresented our argument, claimed it's equivalent to Cavendish, which it's not, and then said you're not interested in it after poo-pooing it and not understanding it. We know that. So you're being like a baller, projecting that crap all over us, mainly John.
And also bringing
let the audience decide for themselves.
Also bringing something up that you don't want to talk about, that's kind of crazy.
I'm Paul. I'd much rather hear what you've got to say. Typically, you're on topic.
So typically, he doesn't want to talk about it, but he brings it up all the time. So that's a contradiction.
I didn't bring it up. I just came in and said, "Hey, what's up, guys?"
Yeah, but it's an ongoing subject with you, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Yeah, and it's not dying anytime soon.
Sure is.
Adam, somebody made a claim that you said something on Ranty's, whatever Ranty's show that is. Who knows? But, we want to hear it.
There's nothing. It's nothing. They're discussing the fact that they like the fact that it was being debated, and that was it. There was, Adam's essentially saying he liked the fact that the Hand had made a presentation, and they were discussing the aspects of flat Earth or on flat Earth, the disputes, and how Ranty was surprised that it wasn't in line with what he expected, always flat Earth versus globe Earth. It was things like that. There's nothing to it. It's just a discussion between Adam and the whys and wherefores of the shows that have gone to pass. But it seems like Anon is impasting the opinions of the Hand on their discussion about his presentation, which I don't know if that's true. I mean, Adam's not here to defend himself, but that's what I took from their conversation. If you think it's something else, more sinister, Anon, then...
It's nothing sinister. There's no sinister about it. All I know is I was driving to work at night yesterday, and I just remember listening to the show, and it was it was the first time I listened to Ranty's show. I've seen it in the past few days, but I just hadn't clicked on it, but today I did. And I was listening to it, and I remember popping out of the tunnel and just yelling, "Yes, they get it! They fucking get it!" And I was like, I'm done. They get it.
Wow,
People get it.
That's deep.
People see right through your shit. QE, they see right through your shit. We're good.
People, Ranty's the resident expert on quantum mechanics, right? I mean, give me a break, dude.
You know what? I'm actually working on a presentation to go, hopefully, to Ranty's show in the next few weeks.
You would.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I would.
Good.
I can't wait.
You're not going to listen to it.
And the presentation title will be Ether Between the Ears. Right?
Please laugh, everybody.
I did, but I was on mute. Sorry.
Anyway, look, Great. If you're going to do a presentation and do it on Ranty's Flat Earth Roundtable, I'd be elated. I'd watch it. Same as I watched Right the Hand's presentation.
Can I put a standing order in right now for my rebuttal?
Yeah. Can I say it's not allowed to be the link to his presentation?
Yeah. It's it's a presentation. That's what it is. I'm calling it right now.
Totes.
So, Adam, Mr. Water, you around?
Laying low. He's laying. I'm sure he'll come back. He'll make his presence known.
All right.
You normally see his mic mute flash on and off or something when he comes back, or he'll say I'm back in the little chat thing, which you can see, right?
Yeah, it's a little small, but yeah.
What are the toe tags I'm still due to publish? I'm sure there's 2. I just can't remember what the hell they are.
You got Hillbilly Blue Balls, the redneck retard. That's 1. And then we're holding off on Toady and Gimp Panda. We're going to do Toady and Gimp Panda on yesterday's Ballbusters.
There is a live audience. It does make sense. So, you can still plug the show. If you're watching live, tomorrow there's Ballbusters. But if you're watching on Nathan Oakley 1980, it's yesterday. Check it out. It's in the playlist on Nathan Oakley 1980 or Science versus Scientism playlist. Check it out.
We have to do a couple minutes of production meeting before Ballbusters. Unless you want to talk about it after the show.
But the people in Ballbusters, the Ballbusters panel, they've got wise to it, right? And they all join late, don't they? So
yeah.
So normally something specifically that we'll talk about, normally you, me and Betty, and we'll get it all nice and clear. So we're all clear about what's what. And then Adam will join just before the show starts or during the intro, and then that'll be it.
Yeah. I'm not talking about, the briefing. I'm just talking about just a couple logistical things we have to go over. We kind of screwed it up because we were winging it the other day.
Yeah,
so
hadn't I just got that car though? I vaguely remember coming in covered in sweat and dirt and.
Yeah. It's no big deal, man. We'll get it.
The bumper's painted. Oh no, let's not do this. Flat Earth.
Yeah, this isn't filler time yet.
No, it's not, is it? No. We're not waiting for a Zanuck reference. Should be a citation.
We could wait for Anon to go watch the video we told him about 2 months ago, or part of that video, and then we could talk about the car.
Can't we just tell him?
No, he has to go get it. Like you said, I agree. I agreed with, because I wanted to pull the video up, but once you said that about, we can lead a horse to water, I agree. So he has to go get it and understand it.
We're watching.
John?
Having a cup of coffee and a fag by the looks of it.
And a what?
Fag is English slang for cigarette.
Cigarette.
I'm sorry about it. Yeah,
if a British man comes up to you and says, "Can I bum a fag?" it doesn't mean what you think.
How do you not know this?
How do I not know it?
What are you, 12?
Because I'm American.
So am I.
Because I'm American.
Non's
So
American.
am I.
I was going to say, you're both American. You got accused of being a Brit, though. Who is it that... I think it was somebody, either Australian or South African, I forget. But somebody accused you of being a Brit, QE.
Me?
No, QE.
Oh.
Me?
You posh Brits, you and Quantum Eraser, and I'm like... Quantum Eraser's as American as apple pie.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that. I think that's a compliment.
You know what the Cockney rhyming slang is for American?
Now, go ahead.
It's a septic.
A septic?
Septic, yeah. A septic tank, yank.
Oh, a septic tank.
No, just septic. So if you're talking about a septic, yeah? Oh, I was talking to this septic the other day. What septic tank, yank. Cockney rhyming slang.
Septic. Those are fighting words.
No, I'm just, that's Cockney rhyming slang for you. That's just the way the Londoners would describe an American. It'd be a septic. What's the other one? Anti-American would be Listerine. Yeah. So Listerine is, this is complicated. Listerine is antiseptic. Yeah?
Right.
And a
Yeah.
septic is a yank. So to be Listerine is to be antiseptic, which is anti-American. So I'm not being Listerine, which is to say I'm not being anti-American. So I'm not being Listerine.
That's hilarious.
Cockney rhyming slang is really complicated.
John,
You know,
the
we
Brits
fought for
are funny.
independence. That's why we fought for it. That's why, right there.
Yeah, you just had Independence Day, eh?
You
we
didn't
threw all the
celebrate that,
tea out.
Nathan?
It's a dark day here.
No problem. America.
It's a dark day here.
Yes, people hang their heads and in shame.
In shame.
Don't you guys celebrate getting rid of the damn Yanks?
No, it never even gets mentioned here. I don't think it was sent. It might have been taught in school. I can't remember.
It's like
You
you
know,
don't
the
talk
Brits-
about your ex-girlfriend, bro.
Again?
You're not gonna be talking about your ex-girlfriend. You're gonna be like,
Ex-girlfriend?
oh, don't worry about her.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Meaning, like, you're not gonna talk about your ex. Somebody you're with, and then they broke off. They said, "Fuck off, we're out of here. We're throwing the tea off in the shore or in the bay later." And then they're not gonna teach it necessarily in schools. I understand.
I see. So they're not going to teach that in English schools because it's not our proudest moment or whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
I have two questions for John.
Oh no.
Don't be like that.
Yeah,
go ahead.
question.
Go ahead. The one.
I thought this was going to be a relaxing day.
Hear them out first. First one is just wanted you to point me at because yesterday we talked about atoms, and I wanted you to point me at where should I go and look more into it, like images and stuff like that, because you mentioned something but you didn't told me yesterday.
I'm sorry,
Tell
you're
him
going to
what's
have to
the
get
image
me up
of.
to date on that. Yesterday wasn't a very good day.
Yeah. So just like something that has more information about atoms and maybe more images.
More information about atoms. Do you have problems with atoms existing?
No, not at all. I
You wanna
am
see
for
'em?
atoms existing. It's
You want to
just
see them? Why don't you just? I think you could just type it into Google. Hydrogen atom. Right.
like that.
I'm sure you
I
can
know
just do
for
that.
this one.
You can do an
for the-
electron scanning microscope and the tunneling microscopes.
Yeah,
they can-
I've seen that one. Are those the best ones? Like that there are out there. I've seen
Yeah.
a couple of those.
Yeah. Well, you're dealing with severely small things. How
Yeah,
about
I
that?
know. And
Yeah.
the other question is that I'm planning maybe this week to run a double-slit experiment, but through a vacuum.
Cool.
Do you have any anything that you want to add, like, or just suggestions for it? What should I
Why
do?
don't you get with Anon? I'm sure he'll be interested. Maybe you can adjust the ether between the slit and the detector.
So
Well,
shout out to
you
Agent
can't.
Dubsky. He says, you know what the English call the 4th of July? Thursday. Thanks for the super chat, Agent
Thursday?
Dubsky. In other words, it's not referenced.
In other words, it doesn't matter. just another day.
Thursday.
Because nobody cares about Thursdays.
So, the one, you're looking for more information on
Oh yeah,
atoms.
that's right.
yes.
Yeah. Well what
Show
type
him
of
the
light
picture
source?
of Knights of Malta.
What?
Knight of Malta? What the hell? I'm having another acid flashback. What's going on?
What did we just just
Don't
throw
play
out
coy.
terms. What
Don't
about
play coy.
triglycerides? How about those?
You have to tie that to atoms. Knights of Malta atoms, Anon. You'll have to fill in that blank, my friend.
Yeah. So do you remember the picture you guys showed of the atom, and it looked a lot like the Maltese cross? You remember that?
Ah, yes,
Mhm.
now I do
You
know
had
what
a-
you're talking about. Yes,
Oh, yeah.
Brenda showed a picture of an
Yeah,
atom,
and
and it looked like the
yeah,
Maltese
the good
cross.
two and
Yes,
a
I do
half
know.
hour
really?
conversation with the good Johnny Cerrucci, and I'm sure
The
he
good
filled you in
John.
on what's going on.
Who's the
Don't
good
they call
John?
him Friar Tuck?
So back to is it the ones question?
Yep.
And atoms, yeah.
Yeah, what's your light source?
Say again.
What is your light source?
I was planning to use a laser.
Yep.
Is it okay?
Yeah, it has to be monochromatic.
All right. I was thinking about, but I don't know, like how they've done it back in the days. Is candle going to work in that experiment or no?
A candle?
Yeah, or no?
Nah, don't be using a candle. You'll be wasting your time. You also have to get the distances right. You have to get the
Yeah.
wavelength of light and get the distances of not only the distance between the slit and the detector, but the distances between the slit or the width of the slits.
Uh huh.
So it's pretty involved, man.
Mm-hmm.
But go
Because
ahead. I mean, rock
I
on.
have the all the gadgets I need to run it. I just need some more technical information on how to properly set it up.
I would
Actually,
jump on.
I've got a quick
You
question.
wanna-
Sorry to interrupt. So, yeah, the distance, the width of the slit itself, that makes perfect sense. But how do you figure out the distance between the two slits? How's that calculated?
I don't think that's a big deal. The distance between the slits. I'm sorry, I may have misspoke, but
I
it's
was
the
going to say
distance.
the width of
Yeah.
the slits themselves, right? Yes.
Yes. And then the distance between the double slit and the detector. What I would probably do, who has a good program? You could jump on a university website and type in double slit,
Mhm.
right? And see a setup, or type in double slit setup. You would probably get a lot of. I've never done that, by the way.
Here,
I've
I'll
done
tell
it.
you what to do. Go to
You would probably.
the one.
Oh
Yep.
God.
Go to Amazon. Go to Amazon. Get yourself a $5 laser, and then put in the cart one black electric tape, and then you can create a double slit, quote unquote, a phenomena, and you can do it right in your
Well,
kitchen and put it on the
I've
wall.
done it
You see the pattern.
already,
Well, there you go.
but I will be doing it properly this time and through a vacuum chamber. So
Well, I don't know
it
where you're
needs
gonna
to
get
be
a vacuum
properly.
chamber big enough where you can put that in there. But if you do, go ahead. It'll be nice to see.
Well,
How
the
big's
slits
your
are
vacuum?
going to
I'm
be.
sorry. How big's your vacuum chamber?
Uh, I'm building it up, building it up. By knowing how much it has to be. Like
Right. Got
I
it.
am
Yep.
making one according to what is supposed to be. So that's why I wanted some pointers to know what to make.
Sure.
This
Well,
is pretty.
at least you're not a baller, because
I was
if
just
you
going
were
to
a
say, sorry
baller,
to
you
interrupt you,
wouldn't.
John. This is pretty heavily involved stuff. So what you're saying is you're going to figure out the length of the, where you're going to place the light, and you're going to place this entire apparatus in a vacuum chamber that you're going to build around the apparatus. That's pretty heavy going stuff, right?
Not the entire. It's just the slits will be in a see-through container, and they'll be on one of the surface, and the back surface will be black. So the actual splitting, or the was it diffraction, will be happening inside the vacuum, but the light will go through normal air until it reaches the slits.
So are the slits in or outside of the vacuum?
They're on the face of the container on one side, and they'll be split. The light will be splitting through the vacuum inside. It's like, imagine like a aquarium, and on one side, like I put the tape on one side, and the other side is all blacked out, so we can see the pattern.
That's interesting. That'd be cool to see.
Very, very. Sorry, John, to interrupt you.
No, I'm saying that at least we know he's not a baller because, you know, he's putting the walls up of the chamber of the vacuum.
No, I'm not a bowler. Nope.
Oh,
Yeah, afterward,
your
you should try
appreciation.
to.
Go on, Chocolate.
I'm sorry. No, I was going to say you should try to see if you can maintain a gas pressure inside that vacuum.
That's just
Just
what I was
for
about to
shits
say.
and giggles.
His appreciation of his necessity to have a container to do this, yeah, that it automatically means he's not a baller.
Bowl inside the vessel. Simulate outer space.
If you're a baller and you were doing this experiment, you wouldn't need a chamber. You wouldn't need the walls of the chamber. You'd just make a vacuum.
Yeah, I'll just go outside. I've been a flat earther for almost 5 years.
Say again?
I've been a flat earther for almost 5 years.
Oh, okay.
I got my physics teacher 4.5 years ago to make some calculations on the horizon, and I posted them online to see how it's impossible for ships to hide behind curve because it's missing to the sides.
Calculations to the horizon.
Well,
Wouldn't that
apparent horizon.
Wouldn't
Yeah.
that depend on
At
a
the
number
time,
of
I
things?
didn't knew a lot of the apparent horizon, but yeah, it was helpful for that period of time.
Ah, the apparent horizon. Right? That's almost redundant. It's almost a tautology. Right?
Well,
No,
I was trying since the beginning just to
that's an
get
important
some
detail.
information.
Hold on, you didn't acknowledge what he just said. Do you appreciate why
I didn't
that's?
understood what he said.
He said it's redundant. Do you appreciate why?
No, because
I
I didn't got it.
I get it.
Yeah, because the
The
horizon.
horizon's already apparent.
Yeah, it was more to do with the viewing angles of the human eye and how we see to the sides, and that's impossible to not have the curve to the sides but have it in front of you more in this manner.
Yeah, you've whistled past it again. So what Chocolate just said is that the horizon is apparent, but if I rephrase that terminology to not actual, would that make more sense why it's redundant?
Yeah, I know it's not actual. I was just more to do with viewing angles and stuff. I didn't know much about it at that point, so wasn't really sure what I was doing back then.
Well, you and Anon have a lot in common. Your old self and his new self.
Well, I'm at least trying to do something, Huey.
Anon, let me ask you a question. Still there?
Anytime, Chocolate.
So, why don't you watch this video that they're talking about so that you can have the conversation as opposed to just shutting it down immediately? Because I get where you come from. I get you don't like the subject. It's full of shit to you, but like kind of like the globe, right? There's things that we have to learn or relearn about the globe in order to have a broader understanding about it so that we can argue it, right? So, I mean, why don't you just try to find out as much about it as you can?
Like I said, I watched Huey's video on delayed choice experiment. I'm not sure which video Nathan necessarily is talking about how they figured out the wave function or the wavelength or how the formula for the wave. I haven't looked at that. And if you send the link on on Master B or on Skype to me. If I find some time, I will do it. But there's so much shit going on. That,
No worries. I'll tell
I
you where
don't
it
wanna-
is. It's in the info box below this video. So if you're watching live or on the premiere,
Okay.
beneath both, it is the delayed choice video that I think you've already watched.
I already watched
Sure.
the delayed choice, and the whole time I was yelling at my phone on
Okay.
QE because he was just declare, and he would like right, and he'd be like, I'll be like no.
Okay,
and
no
he'd
worries,
say
no
right, and
worries.
then-
Oh god.
Okay, hold on. Right, in that video, when it gets to the bit where on screen, I believe there's the like 5 lines, the actual diffraction pattern itself. Around about there, I can't remember if it's just before or just after. That's where you'll find the description of how the description comes to pass. So maths is just describing something, right? It's just a description. Well, how they came to derive the convention of wave function when describing light mathematically, that's explained around about that time in that video. And if you're watching this, same applies
Are you
in
talking?
the info box.
Are you talking about light only or any sort of EMR?
The entire scale is derived from what you will watch in that section. That's how they get that scaling.
Light. What do you mean? Say that question again. Light is the EMR scale. And another point, they call it electromagnetic, right? Photons are neither electric nor magnetic. So what in the world is going on out there?
Yeah, it's utter nonsense is what's going on. So what are you talking about? First of all, there are no photons.
Oh, there are no
They're
photons.
not magnetic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
It's
Do
a
you
virtual
know?
particle. It's a.
Yeah.
Do you know what virtual means?
Hold on,
You know
let's
when
not-
they say
stop.
photon is a virtual
Just one
particle?
at a time. Don't
It's
talk
virtual.
through each other. Try and keep it as a conversation. That way, everyone benefits from hearing the main bits of the information. Hopefully we'll
Sounds
get
good.
at least 5 minutes of decent conversation out of you two.
Out of you two.
Okay. So you know what is the
So-
concept of a virtual photon? Do you know
A
what that is?
virtual photon that's a misnomer. Virtual means not real. So there are no virtual particles. It's a friggin' oxymoron.
I know, but that's what it's used for all quantum calculations. They use
Well,
a
no, it's
virtual
what?
photon.
What are you talking about? What do you mean? What
So how do
it's
they
used?
count-
What's it?
In order for you to have a calculation, you need to quantify these stuff. You need to make it into beans. They're bean counters. You have to turn something that's not a bean into a bean so you can count it. That's the problem with it. So they create these virtual particles, virtual photons. And right there,
no.
right there. I know this is bullshit.
Yeah, they create virtual particles. Where are you getting this shit from?
All right, I'll
Show us a
paste them
virtual
in.
particle.
I'm on my phone. I'll paste them on Skype, and
Yeah, I want to
you
see
look at
these
it later.
virtual particles. Yeah. So you said photons are not particles, right? Have you ever seen the photoelectric
Yep.
effect, by the way?
You mean the thing that Einstein got his Nobel for?
Exactly.
Yeah. It also works with some sort of a wave and ether, induction, whatever you want to call it. It's the
Induction.
vibration of the ether.
Yeah, it shows that
there's no-
photons.
So let me ask
are
you something. Do we have?
No,
do we
no,
have?
no. It shows we're staying with the photoelectric effect.
Hold on.
Because
Just one at a time.
No, we're not.
Just one at a time. So the rebuttal is now coming from John. Go ahead, John.
yeah, the photoelectric effect. That showed that photons were particles. It is the entire foundation of friggin' radiology, for crying out loud. This is a joke,
Okay.
man.
So
This
let
is
me
a
ask you
joke.
something. Your micro, your cell phone, You have a cell phone.
Yeah.
You're making calls. Are
don't
you
have a cell
sending virtual particles? Is your
ain't
phone
sending
actually
virtual
sending
particles.
virtual particles? Because that's part of the
Citation.
EMR, right?
Citation.
Microwave is just above. Can I stop
Citation,
talking?
please. Citation,
So, dude,
please.
I'm just going by what you say. So
No, I've
if light
never said that
is
shit.
based- So if
Stop making
light
shit
is
up.
no
Stop making shit up. I never
if
said
light
anything
is
about
okay, hold on.
virtual part. Shut up!
Okay. See this, Nathan, this is what we get.
Clown!
It's because you've misrepresented him and said, I'm going by what you say, and he's specifically
I'm-
asked you for a citation to back this notion of virtual particles. And rather than giving him one, you're saying, no, I'm using what you say. He's trying desperately to say, I haven't said that, and you're talking through him. So we got about 3 minutes.
Yeah. So you're telling me I just told you that what you were saying. You told me
You're telling me
2
I
minutes
just told
ago.
you what you were saying. Makes perfect
2
sense.
minutes ago you 2 minutes ago you
Come on.
said that light is part of the EMR, right? The same thing, just different intensity, right? We have low intensity radio wave, high intensity, all the way gamma rays, correct? And light somewhere
You're
in the middle,
good.
right?
You're good so far.
Is that right? Okay.
Yeah, and then I
So
classified.
if light
Then
has
I
particles,
classified electromagnetic radiation as photons are neither electric nor magnetic. Go ahead.
okay. So if light is just simply part of the spectrum, and it's just the part that we get to see with our eyes, that particular spectrum has these things called photons. But if you go further up, there are no such thing as photons. So you're telling me
No,
that
it's all
microwave has
photons.
microwave particles? There are microwave particles that shoot in and out? Is that how that works?
Yeah, they're all photons. You just contradicted yourself. There's only a small window of visible light. Everything, the whole scale is light. Everything is photons. You said it yourself.
So I was right. My phone is actually sending tiny little particles to the tower. That's what you're telling
Yeah,
me.
that's right.
Yeah, okay. You still didn't answer my question from yesterday, and you just said you don't know, and that's a big
What
glaring
question?
problem for me.
What question?
Which is when photons travel through a medium that slows
Okay.
them down. As soon as they pop out that medium, as if they basically put it back and drop it into second gear, back into third gear, and they shoot back up again. How does it do that without breaking the law of conservation of energy? How does it do that? Does the
Hey,
photon have
clown
an
show.
engine?
Clown show.
Does
Clown
photon
show.
have an
One
engine?
second. 1 second. I'm going to answer you. You don't know what the conservation of momentum is, number one. And number two, how does that
Energy,
differentiate?
not
Hold
momentum,
on.
energy.
How does that differentiate?
Hold on.
Shut up.
Please.
How does that differentiate between waves and particles? That conservation of momentum that you don't know about holds the same for
Energy.
waves. You clown. What is
Conservation
the
of
conservation of
energy.
momentum? What is the conservation of momentum?
I'm not talking about conservation of momentum. I'm
Yes,
talking
you
about
are.
conservation of
You just
energy.
said it. You just
Again,
said it.
if a photon pops out the
Shut
slowing medium,
up.
how does it speed back up?
Hey, well, if photons are waves, how do they speed back up? It
Can I
applies to
explain that to
both.
you? I can explain that to you.
Shut
Because it's
up.
a
Shut
because
up.
it's a
You brought up the
a
conservation
rate-
of
Hold on, John.
momentum.
Hold on.
Let's break
Hold
it
on.
down.
Hold on. You've just
Bec-
asked him the same
because-
question, right? You flipped the bird and you've said, given that you've got a presuppositional ether and all that sort of stuff, if it's a wave, a reified mathematical wave function in an actual wave format, physical, how does it do the same thing as you're asking? So your question being, if
Can I answer?
light travels through a glass,
I can answer that.
we
Because
appreciate
it's
that the speed
not-
is slowing down and that's causing the refraction and all the rest of the stuff that we appreciate, but the speed change is specific to what you're asking. And he's saying, if it's a wave, how do you have the speed change? In other words, it's the same question back at you.
Can I explain that?
Yeah.
I
go
tell you
ahead.
why. If it's a wave, the speed change makes sense, but when it's a photon, it doesn't. The reason is because the speed is not a particle moving through a medium. The speed is the medium itself vibrating in a transverse and basically the other compression waves. So the
Citation,
medium
please.
itself, it's a rate of induction in the medium. They're
Citation,
not
please.
particles traveling through a medium. Now my
Citation,
wife wants to
please.
be loud.
Citation, please. And the conservation of momentum will still hold for that wave, son. And you don't even know what the
Energy.
conservation of momentum. You don't even know what the conservation of momentum is.
Is he deaf?
Yeah, you're finished. You're
John,
finished
not for
because I asked
nothing.
you
He
twice.
is
Hold on,
he
hold on.
is
Let me keep this
saying
on the rails. Let me keep it on the rails. So the reason he's saying "Are you deaf?" is because while you were refuting something he was saying, he kept saying, "I'm not saying momentum. I'm saying energy."
He said the conservation of momentum.
Never.
Energy.
Yes, you did. You said it yesterday twice, and you just said it twice today.
Energy.
You just said it
Again, I
twice
said
today.
energy.
They
If
can
you want, you
rewind
can
it.
rewind it when the video comes
Yeah,
out
you
in a
bet
few
your
hours.
ass we'll rewind it.
Please do so. You'll see
You're
that
a
I
friggin' clown,
specifically
man.
said conservation of energy. And
No,
again,
you
it
didn't.
makes sense if it's the rate of induction
No, you
of the
didn't.
transverse wave within the medium and not
No,
a
you
particle separate from the medium traveling through it. That's
No, you
why the
didn't.
speed of
You
light
said
is a
conservation
rate
of
of induction
momentum.
of the
You're a
medium.
friggin'
It's not
clown show.
particles.
You said it like 4 times. You keep on talking because you're a clown. What is the
Okay.
conservation of
See?
momentum?
Oh my God, he's broken, guys. I think he's
Yeah,
literally he's like
he's
written.
broken.
He's like a poorly
John,
bad
not
written.
for nothing. John, today he has been saying conservation of energy.
No, he
I
didn't. He
don't know
said
about
conservation of
yesterday, but
It's
momentum.
a
yes, he
poorly
did say
written
it today.
script.
No, he did. Yeah, he said it after I asked him what's the conservation of momentum. After he said conservation of
Wrong.
momentum, I know what he said.
No, he said it
So
before
thanks
that.
for your help, Chocolate.
I
I'm just
said it
being
before
honest,
that.
man.
I
That's what he said.
specifically said
What's the
energy.
conservation of energy?
Oh dear God. Just look it
Yeah,
up, bro.
hurry up. Google that.
I'm not.
Well,
I'm on my phone. I'm taking care of my son.
but
Yeah,
but
that's
now,
right.
now,
Hold
now
on,
that
okay,
he's
hold on,
asked,
hold
now
on.
that he's asking
Hold
what
on.
energy
Let's
is.
hold on. Let's keep it on the rails. You don't need the phone. You've already claimed it. You've made damn sure we make sure that your claim is clear, that it's conservation of energy. So what's that? You must know. You've already cited it. You've already used it in your example. So you should know it.
Seriously, do I need to explain that to you guys?
Yes, please.
Oh boy, you are
Where does
such a
it get the
pretender
energy
clown.
to speak? Where does it get the energy? Where does it get the energy?
That's
to
what you're
speed
asking
back
us
up?
something
I'll
now.
make
Go
it
on,
simple
just
for
tell
you.
us what the
Very
conservation of
easy.
energy is. Just detail it. Maybe give us the formula.
I haven't memorized the formula. I'm sorry. If you want, I can bring up a. I'm on my phone. Let me see.
No,
Hold on.
that's okay. You already exposed yourself, Mr. Conservation of Momentum. You don't even know what that is either. Yep, clown show. So back to the photons and the photoelectric effect. Do you know anything about the photoelectric effect, son?
I do,
I mean,
boy.
it's just the entire foundation of radiology. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Explain to me how photon speeds back up. You still haven't done
they've
that.
shown
You haven't
light. I'm
explained
going to
to me
tell
how
you. I'm going
photon
to tell
speeds
you
back
why
up.
it's a particle.
Does it have a
See,
V6
with
or
the
a V8?
photoelectric effect, if you'd shut up, with the photoelectric effect, what they did was they had this question. Well, if photons were waves, then when shining a light on metals, right, they're going to get a certain type of, I don't want to say reaction, but there should be electrons, free electrons, uh, bouncing out of the metal, detectable. So if light was a wave, then shining light of any frequency on that sheet of metal, no matter the intensity or the brightness, it should liberate the free, there's communal electrons. You understand that, right? That flow on metals that make them highly conductive. You understand that, right? This does not happen. Therefore, light is not a wave. Moreover, increasing that intensity, of the frequencies of that light does not increase the kinetic energy of the liberated free electrons, now photoelectrons. So it's one photon, a discrete chunk, right, is absorbed by one electron. Therefore, light is quantized. Therefore, light is a particle. That's my argument.
When it travels through a medium that slows it down.
Oh, God.
Answer that question. It's not that hard. Answer it.
that question. I just went through the entire photoelectric effect, summarized, granted.
That's
But
great.
do you
I don't care
understand?
about your photoelectric effect. I want to know how does a
What
photon
about
speed
Compton
back
scattering?
up after going through a medium that slows it
What about
down?
Compton's? We already went over that. What about Compton scattering?
What about LBC?
Yeah, right. Lame butt sniffer that you are. Yeah, you've been exposed
Yeah,
again.
when you find
this is a repeating refrain. Why don't you get Right the Hand to help you out? Right? Where's
I had
Adam
some
at?
issues with Right the Hand's presentation, but it was better than yours.
Oh yeah.
At least I
Wow.
agree with him.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That is so deep.
You still, when you find out how photon speeds back up,
citations
you
were
just let me know,
outstanding.
okay? Send me a link to a video that explains
The
that.
2 wiki references were outstanding. What's an equivocation fallacy?
There is no such thing as equivocation. It's equivocation.
Yeah.
There's no L.
Yeah, well, that's what he said. Did you like that part of the presentation too?
So as the ad hominems may begin shortly, I'm going to say, if you are watching this on the Nathan Oakley 1980 premiering stream, then stay tuned as there will be an after show to follow. Unfortunately, if you're watching this live on Nathan Oakley channel, this is where we bid you farewell. A massive, huge, enormous thank you to all of you who smashed the super chat, liked, commented, shared, subscribed, and all that good stuff. Be sure to check out nathanoakley.com and the Flat Earth Debate Forum, which you should definitely all join. A massive thank you to all of today's debating panel for making this live show possible. I've been Nathan Oakley. Stay tuned if you're watching on Nathan Oakley 1980, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
More water, guess what? The wave would still transfer
What a
go the same
surprise.
speed as it
This is
was
where you're
before,
clowns
except
talking.
with less intensity.
So, did you figure out the photoelectric effect yet?
No, I'm
And
done.
why
I gotta
it
go. My
pummels
wife is
your
complaining that I'm
entire
not helping.
fiasco?
I gotta go.
Have you figured that out yet?
It was good talking to you guys.
Thanks, Anon.
No,
Yeah.
seriously, I do. I have to go. I have to get 2 kids ready. I can't do this.
Yeah, well,
She's
study
looking
up on the photoelectric effect for the next time, because I'm going to hammer you next time.
I have to return some videotapes.
Okay, bye-bye.
You have to return videotapes.
Oh, yeah.
So, given that Ballbusters was yesterday, right? What's
Right.
this week's Ballbusters, if you know what I mean? This coming Sunday in 6 days' time.
Oh, this got the entire friggin' ball-tarred brain trust together for a hangout for about 3 hours. It was glorious. I couldn't believe it. I started listening to it and I said, okay. Oh my God. Oh my God. And then I just started friggin' going step by step through everything they said, pulled the transcript up. I'll tell you what, dude, wait till you hear this. You aren't, I'm telling you. Did you listen to it?
The Ballbusters yesterday.
Not the ball busters, the dang ball-tarred brain trust. I sent you the video.
No, you are actually talking in all seriousness, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He said call Congress.
Was it in Ballbusters?
Where did I put it? I put it a couple different places. Hold on a second.
Why is Adam Meakin posting pictures of what looks like an Asian princess riding a unicorn? What's that all about?
I have no idea.
What?
That was me taking the piss with John and Ranty arguing last night. Trying to lighten the mood.
You can't lighten the mood. He's a freaking clown.
Just get something clear, Adam. Do you decry quantum mechanics?
No, I said it last night. My understanding, I put me in a position. I don't understand it, so I'm not able to stand there and defend either position. I think there's still questions in my mind. But as I said, I'm a chemist. And as John said to a number of times, it's the basis of radiotherapy a lot. And so I'm always going to err on the side of it being a particle. But I do have trouble with how it behaves as a wave function. And that comes out of maybe lack of understanding. So that's why I said I was looking forward to these debates, because it might add clarity to my understanding. But if asked to pick a side, I have to go with the particle, because that's my understanding of it. But I do still have questions as to what the frickin' hell is going off between when you send the particle and when it's received. What happens in between, we can't observe, and that's the mystery still for me.
Hey Nathan, just to deal with a previous subject, you said where I posted that video, it's in Supremacy.
Okay, so superposition is something that you're struggling with then, Adam?
Yeah.
I'm doing two things at once, which is my male deficiency. Did you say yes?
Yes, yeah. I mean, I'm honest in that. It's not it has field of physics. It's not chemistry per se. So we take it so far as to what's happening, particularly with free particles. Most of my understanding is based around physical chemistry. So to go into that detail isn't my area of expertise. So when asked to back either claim, I genuinely, without bothering to sit and research it, and that's why I was saying lazy researching is listening to other people who have debated it, put into firmer position. So,
No, I don't think that was the question. I think I don't know what Anon meant by what you were saying. I didn't listen to the whole show yesterday. I just listened to the part where Ranty was talking out his ass on something that I said that I didn't, or something that was implied that I didn't. I think he was talking about...
I'm talking about me.
Yeah, we're not talking about Anon either. We're talking about Adam, and I would like to echo Adam's sentiments because of Arwin. So my understanding of this completely changed recently because I'd reified it, and I thought, well, it's just in two different positions at once, and it's not. That's just a mathematical way of describing it before you've got the knowledge of which path it's travelling through, and you've caused the wave function to collapse. Well, prior to that, the before bit, I had a total misunderstanding, a misapprehension even of what it was. And then Arwin and John discussed it, and I'm like, bloody hell, I totally misunderstood that. I didn't get that. And, now I'm in the same boat as you. It's like, well, I really don't understand what the fuck's going on there then. In that moment before that decision's made, what is it in that moment? What's going on? I don't fully understand it. I understand how it's explained now mathematically as superposition. That bit I now understand thanks to Arwin and John. But, it still raises... It still makes me want a greater understanding of it in the same way you do.
I don't think that was Anon. That's what Anon was talking about.
We're not talking about Anon. Have you not eaten anything today or something? What's going on? This is just Adam. Adam saying, I want more information, basically, in a nutshell. Correct, Adam?
Yeah, pretty much. As you're saying, it's that middle bit. We have experimentation where we know it's a solid particle at the end. We know all of those things, but we don't. What the bloody hell's going off in the middle? Because it's amazing. We don't have that detail. We do have the rest, but it doesn't. There's a piece missing in the jigsaw. Simply, there's still things to find out.
It's not missing, and I'm still going to divert this thing back because the reason why we got on this topic, right, was Anon said.
If you mention Anon again, I'm going to kick you out.
Hold on a second. Anon said that Adam was taught. He said Adam, Ranty, and Right to Hand were up against me. Right? So he must have said something about quantum mechanics because Right to Hand's presentation was quantum mechanics was bunk. The whole thing.
I'm not up against
my
anyone,
question.
So let's just get that clear. I have my own opinion, and if that contradicts or opposes other people's sometimes, then so be it. But that doesn't put me in opposition to them. It makes our thinking slightly different. I don't feel the need to be aggressive in that. I'm happy to discuss things. So if anybody's included me in a statement with negative direction towards you, John, then hopefully you know me well enough that that isn't the case.
Right. That's why I was trying to get him to say something. And then I was laughing because if that's true, and I know you're a chemist, then I was going to ask you, where did the periodic table come from?
Totally. This is what I was saying. I'm totally on the side of it. Everything I understand says that, but I'm also honest enough to say I don't comprehend. I understand the concept of superposition. I've got no problem with that. That's easy. But what that actually in reality is happening, I do not know what that is. And I don't think anybody actually does know. We know what it does at the beginning and the end. And all I'm saying is there's a level of doubt in my knowledge and understanding. I'm not questioning anybody else's, and that's
we're talking about two different subjects.
The argument of the support of either a particle or a wave that will add greater knowledge to me, but at the moment I sit firmly in the particle camp. I can't. There's too many other things that rely on it being a particle, but that doesn't mean I'm ruling out in the middle. It's not doing funky things.
Yeah, like I said, we're talking about two different subjects, but I'm happy to roll on over to superposition. You said, what's the real thing in superposition? There's nothing real. It's just a mathematical description on the wave function, right? How many possibilities are there? But it's not real. I mean, you don't have one particle in thousands of positions at the same time. That's nonsense.
No, that's not the puzzle, though, is it? It's the fact that it has the probability distribution of being able to be there that's the interesting point.
Oh, yeah.
Because obviously it can't be, but it has, and it's that interim bit where it has the probability of being in any of those positions. That's the wonder of what's going off still for me.
Yeah, and it's
ignorance is another way of saying it.
It's not ignorance. It's not ignorance. It's the biggest problem here is language to describe this, because I think our language is limited, and it is so difficult to describe it. That's why most of the problems come from that, just from communicating. Because let me give you another one. So you got a probability. The wave function is a probability distribution. So let's say fire a friggin' photon. It's going through to the double slit, right? It's the probability distributions, or the concept of probability that's interfering with itself. So you got two probability waves that interfere with themselves when they go through the double slit. That should help you.
But it's that probability distribution that and that combination of those things that does not correlate to the behavior of the particle if it's just physical. That makes it, because it has all of these probabilities, that isn't commensurate with it just being physical. So it's that interim state, just like with the quantum eraser experiments, where we're showing that until we're interfering with reality, it's not defined, and that's why I still have this ponderance of what the hell is going off in that interim state.
What do you mean? What do you mean interfering with reality with the delayed choice quantum eraser?
Tell me which path that defines what's occurring. So the reality is subject to the observer. What actually occurs is dependent on the knowledge.
Yeah, it's not observer dependent. It's dependent on the knowledge of the witch path information. So it's information, but you can't have information without a knower.
That,
Right.
That, to me, is one of the good proofs of God, which says that actually there's something more that goes up in the mechanics of everything than just physicality. And these experiments, again, suggest that God, for me, God's just playing with you.
Right. I don't know if he's playing with you, but see, what is so funny too, that all these people will gang up on quantum mechanics. They forget my other three proofs. I got about 30 of them, but the other three. Isn't that funny? Why don't they talk about the other three? It's a phenomenon that I recently noticed.
This is the other strange thing that this topic. I mentioned this on Brady's show last night, that this topic appears to be a stick to beat you with. You know, this is a debate across physics. It's not. You know, there are people in different positions arguing this at academic levels that are still debating. It's not, to me, something that's totally.
Hey, Adam, can you fix your mic, or does somebody have their hot mic? Somebody's got a hot mic or something.
Yeah, I think it's day and good morning.
Yeah, could you all guys go on mute? And Adam, could you say that again? I didn't catch it.
I was just saying it's odd that this argument is almost being by the ballers. You're owning this argument. The rise and death of quantum mechanics is John's John's fault, or you know what I mean? It's very odd to me that this is, you know, whatever your position is, it's the debate of modern science. This, not John Stunge's belief. You know what I mean? I don't get how this is becoming so personal against you as well.
Well, his name is
Are all them
Quantum
four
Eraser,
proofs
right?
backed by scientific evidence? Yeah, I've not seen it. I'm just wondering.
What's that?
The 4 proofs video you've got, is it all backed by scientific evidence? I've not seen the video. I'm just wondering.
Yeah, well, the first 2 proofs are scientific evidence. That is DNA and quantum mechanics. The third proof is based on the laws of thermodynamics. That's not science. That's another discussion. And the fourth proof is probably my favorite, I would have to say, is the argument from functional sequence specified complexity. I would suggest watching that video. It's right underneath the comments, or it's the description in this video. It's the creator versus atheism. But go ahead. Sorry. Sorry, go ahead. I was stepping on somebody. Hello out there.
I don't think it was me.
You?
I might have said something. Sorry.
Something's going on with your mic, Adam, or somebody's got an open mic on the panel. It's really hard to hear you.
I was having to move there. Is that better?
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah, so I was just shifting. Yeah. So that was just me. And anyway, I've got to shoot, but that was just me taking the piss, John. That question Nathan asked us, who was that? That's Brenda. There was a joke I made before I knew it was Brenda that was doing this presentation tonight on it being a particle.
Yeah,
so
but that's not the question.
Who was the white knight riding in to save John if he's not doing this presentation? And then it turned out to be Brenda. So when you two were arguing, that's why I sent a picture of the princess with the sword on it.
Oh, that's what Nathan was talking about. Yeah, but you see, I thought it was so ridiculous from anyone with any science acumen whatsoever to say quantum mechanics is a hoax, right? It's tantamount. This guy was using his computer and his cell phone to put together the presentation about debunking quantum mechanics. This is tantamount to be the pit boss for Richard Petty Motorsports and then deny the existence of the internal combustion engine. That's how stupid this is.
No,
right?
but look, I was listening to you, your debate or you two argue earlier, and it was fascinating. Okay, and I appreciate that to you it is that tiddly-winkly, little analogy you give of how. But actually, even for me, John, that information isn't known and fully wrapped around a concept to debunk these things. And if I'm being honest, it'd be nice to hear you delve into that and tell a little bit more, and give us less credit that of just go and look into the Photoelectric, all these things. If you just, it would be a lot more beneficial for me. You know what I mean? As I referred to earlier, I can go and read these things, but I don't want to. It's part of the good thing with ranty stuff is it allows this back and throw where that research is 5-6 hours research has been done and summarized for you to mull over and then go in deeper if you want to. And
yeah, but let's just do the surface. Just in reference to you, like I said before, without quantum mechanics, the modern periodic table wouldn't exist. So, Adam,
I'm
do
not
I need
disputing
to go on?
We know that quantum mechanics does exist, and the point was I really enjoyed you discussing the discussion that went off with regards to the effect of light as a wave passing through different mediums and as a particle passing through. That was really good. And whilst you can say his videos are rebuttal, we don't necessarily, I certainly don't understand the nuances of why. And like I said, that this afternoon I thought was really cool.
Yeah, well, like I said, the periodic table, right? It wouldn't exist. That cracks me up. Why would I need to go any further, right? Of course, we can go into talking about insulators, semiconductors, conductors, superconductors. We can go into talk about conducting or the conductive bands and valence electrons. When I start getting into this stuff, right, you got crayon munchers out there. I'm going to lose them immediately, right? What should I start talking about?
I'll just prove my love of the periodic table. When I was a kid, obviously I love chemistry so much that I did memorize it so that I could draw out all the atomic structures. So I will. It's Healy-Bebkanofsky Namgao-Sip Sklar, which allows you to draw it all out for all of that. So I do know. That's what I'm saying. For me, it's particles. It's just I'd love to know a bit more, and I really enjoyed the chat.
Yeah, but this goes beyond. This goes beyond whether it's a particle or a wave. Like I said yesterday, we wouldn't even be having this discussion if they went with matrix mechanics right from the start. The only reason why we're having this discussion is it's particle wave duality nonsense. That's the only reason why we're having this discussion, right? It's just linguistics gymnastics. That's all it is, right? But to talk about semiconductors and insulators and conductors, what's so hard? I mean, and the periodic table, oh my God. I mean, radiology, all these things. How can you stand up there and say quantum mechanics is a hoax and be taken seriously? Are you kidding me? Right? That's my whole point. And I was just going by, well, Anon said, well, yeah, Ranty and Adam. Like I said, I didn't listen to it. I only listened up to the part where Ranty was severely strawmanning me. It pissed me off, by the way. Don't ever say that I said something when I didn't fucking say it.
I thought you said I read your stuff in Ballbusters as a polite decline. So that's why, because that's the one thing I was aware of when I was on the show, that you kind of said what you said, which is what, that's my rebuttal is their presentation, which I just read as a polite decline. I didn't take it as anything else, which is why that's my reaction on the show.
Right.
So it probably is worth, John, listening to it, mate. Not some fucking shit stirrer's opinion of what went off.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Anyway,
I knew he was full of shit. He was just talking out his ass. I knew that.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Don't worry. I wasn't holding anything against you, Adam. Yeah, but I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what.
Something to hold. I'll stand by whatever I've said. Feel free to. It's cool. But do you know what I mean? That there you go. There it is, and hence the picture as well, which I thought was funny. But anyway.
Well, I don't know, Adam. Let's say Tiger Woods is on the 18th fairway, right? And Elmer Fudd comes up and wants to do a presentation on debunking Tiger Woods' backswing, right? Is Tiger Woods going to pay him any mind? Probably not, right? So I'm not out there. The standing order that I gave to Ranty in the beginning was, if any baller presents something, right? So let's get to specifics. And if any baller presents something on about their heliocentric spinning ball space monkey religion, then I have a rebuttal. That was my standing order. So not friggin' crayon munching flat earthers that wouldn't know their ass from a pipe wrench. And is this clear?
Yeah,
you can quote me
slightly
on that.
distorted, actually, but yes.
Right, gentlemen, I've got stuff to do, but I'll catch you later.
Later on, Adam.
Unless there's anything else to add, I might use that as an opportunity to round out. Were you going to add something, Chocolate?
I just
No, I
want
was just saying later to
a
Adam.
question.
Yeah, go ahead. You feel free. I mean, I don't mind. I'll wait till both of you have got whatever you want to say. So, Chocolate, go ahead, and then the one.
I'm screen sharing a picture that I want him to check out and see if this is correct about the double slit.
I can't see it, sir.
So there is a
No,
candle.
you can now.
and-
Hold on. You should be able to see it.
Nah, I got nothing but black.
All right, give me 10 seconds.
All right.
Okay, can you see it now?
Yes, sir.
There you go.
It's small.
It's as big as it needs to be.
Zoom me out.
I'm sorry, the one. You go ahead.
Just misspoke, sorry.
That was not a misspeak.
That's a misspeak, not a misspoke.
That's what she said.
I've got you presented the one. Go ahead.
So, John, can you see it?
Yeah.
Is this sort of correct setup or?
Yeah, in fact, they did that back in the day to pummel the electromagnetic theory. They pummeled I can't believe his name escapes me right now. What they did was they took this candle, right, or a light source, and they moved it really, really far back. And they had the double slit, and they got the screen set up, and they came back 24 hours later. Oh, it's Maxwell. Yeah, this pummeled Maxwell's electrodynamic theory. And what they did was they waited until something happened, happened on the screen. And after 24, 48 hours, if you move it back far enough, right, you'll get one distinct spot on the screen that was exposed, right? Now, if you think of light as a wave, then the photographic plate or the emulsion plate, it would be, the whole film would be exposed. Do you understand what I'm saying? But in this case, it one distinct spot. And if you left it go, you'd get another spot here, another spot over here, right? That totally eviscerates electromagnetic theory, Maxwell's theory. It eviscerates it right there. You could just stop and say, bye-bye now. But go ahead. What was your question? Sorry, I got on a rant.
Yeah, so I can use sort of this lengths that are giving here with a laser, or it won't cut
Oh,
it.
the lengths. But like I said, with the lengths and stuff, you're gonna have to go into. Let me see it. Approximately 0.5 distance. S1 and S2. Physics for GSC level. Yeah. Did they give the slit width?
No, I cannot see. It just says S1 and S2. I'll follow the link and see what it shows.
Oh, you took it off. Yeah, there it is. Yeah. Oh, they used a candle and then scroll up a little bit more. Scroll up just a little bit. No, go to the display. What is that black? Nah. Go back up there.
Which way?
To the candle.
Here.
Yeah, right there. Hold on a second. Go make see, they're making it monochromatic. Okay, I see what they're doing. Right.
Yeah,
Remember when I said make sure your light's monochromatic? The reason why they do that is you just get bandings overlapping. It'll be a whole cluster screw. That's why you want to keep it monochromatic. But okay.
So is the laser by default monochromatic or no?
Yes, it should be. Yes.
Yeah. All right. So I don't make a huge screw up somewhere.
Yeah, you don't need a color filter or anything. It should be, if you buy a green laser, it's freaking green.
So it's just down out me building the freakingly big vacuum chamber. Should take a day.
to make a vacuum chamber, it should take a day, huh?
Well, that big.
Yeah, cool beans, man. I'd like to see you're gonna videotape it, right?
Oh yeah, sure.
Oh, cool. Yeah, you're gonna be presented on this channel.
Yeah.
Outstanding. Nathan probably be all over that, man. Where is he anyway?
Right here, I'm listening and watching. Chocolate, have you got anything to add? I'm just waiting to round out this Uncut and After show. As soon as everyone's got their stuff off their chest, everyone's all relieved and happy, then I'll round out.
Yeah, I'm good.
I'm good.
So
Discord
you're Mr.
server?
Good Samaritan.
Do you wanna come off mute and share your pain?
Oh, I forgot to move them to the after show.
No. The owner of the server did it.
Oh, cool.
Shout out to the silent partner who runs Discord so effectively.
Yeah, I shirked my responsibilities today. Somebody should garnish you my wages. Oh, that's right. I'm not getting paid.
Yep, pay peanuts. Right, well, I'm going to round out for sure. So with that, I'm going to say a huge, massive, enormous thank you to all of you who tuned in on the Nathan Oakley 1980 premiering stream, for hopefully smashing the super chat, liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, and all that good stuff. Of course, a massive thank you to all of today's debating panel for making this debate possible. Be sure to check out nathanoakley.com and the Flat Earth Debate Forum, which you should definitely join. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!